All right. Thank you. So today I am honored to introduce the International Kakuma Refugee Lesbian and Kids Collaboration. Um, and our speakers are Juliet Wabule and Sue Hodes. So Juliet Wabule is an extraordinary organizer and human rights defender. She will talk about her escape from Uganda to the giant Kakuma Refugee Camp in northern Kenya, um, LGBTQ organizing at the camp, and life now with her three children in Canada. Sue Hodes, an anti-Zionist Jewish and lesbian activist, will share how supporters work to raise funds for basic necessities and to raise awareness of the enormous obstacles that lesbians and their families need to overcome. But first, we have a short 2 to 3 minute video before they get started.
The other one of LGBTI. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. LGBTI, 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 LGBTI. What are we? 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 We are the children of the rainbow flag. We are the creatures of the rodas. No matter the summers, no, we are here to say. We are the creatures of the rodas. We are moving forward, moving on and on. Never, never gonna stop. We are fighting, fighting, fighting more and more. Never, never gonna stop. Yeah, we are
Thank you so
fighting.
much,
We are never
Juliet.
gonna stop.
Hi. We are here to stay. I don't want to remember that. Hi, everyone. My name is Juliet Wabule. Thank you so much, Kristina, for inviting me here. I'm so happy to be part of this meeting. And thank you, everyone, for coming. Yeah, first of all, yeah, you say that I had to talk about my fleeing to Uganda. I'm blessing that this guys, I got this guy who was so good to me, and through a friend who was my late mom's friend, and we happened to be together, and I gave birth to other kids. With that one, we had 3 kids. So he was so supportive, and later on, after a few years with him, he died like car accident. But his family knew that I was a lesbian before. So they chased me. They wanted to kill me. When he passed on, I didn't have any protection. Remember, I don't have a family. I was disowned. I didn't have any family by my side. So I was alone by myself. And the family which was against me was a big one because they are in UBDF in Uganda, where I come from. Like people in power can do anything and go unpunished. So he he bought someone, he paid someone to come and kill us in the house, me with my kids. After taking my young daughter, they wanted the daughter and the 2 sons. I was within the house. They wanted to burn the house with us in it, and there will be no more of us. So this person fortunately helped us and warned us and told me that, please, I was your husband's friend, so this is what's happening. I'm paid to kill you with your kids, and if you feel you want to leave, go away and never look back. Go away as far as you can. So that's how I thought that maybe the nearest place I could go is Kenya. I was already persecuted because the family had already taken everything that I had with my kids. They took the house, they took everything. I was with nothing apart from their kids. So I was trying to figure out, and that's where I was renting is where they wanted to kill us from. So I came to Kenya hoping that there will be some help for us, for me and my kids, because I thought that I will find a voice there, that I'll get, my kids will go to school there. I will find something to eat, and maybe some protection there. But in Kenya, I arrived there in 2018, 19. They told me all is gonna be well, but it wasn't at all. When I reached Kenya, everything was like very worse than even where I came from. The community I was into was LGBT group where we were discriminated like heavily. We almost like some of us we lost people in that group because we had like multiple attacks. We were attacked like many times, and we lost people in those attacks because our shelters were burnt down and beaten by the police. And my friend lost her baby, newborn baby, because of too much tear gas that we were tear gassed on that day by the police and Kenyan officials. We were like, it was disaster. Like we lived the life of like being in we which we we were just praying to see the sun on the following day, because our life in Kakuma was like too much. We couldn't get food as LGBTI group. We couldn't get medication. We couldn't buy anything from nearby shop because we were gays. Like people say that being gay is abomination, that we are teaching their children like bad things, like they did not want us to be there. Even our money was a curse. So we lived in that situation, like it was too much. It's not like we got any help like being recognized as refugees, but as asylum seekers all those years that I was there in Kenya. So along this way, we've been trying to say things like advocate for ourselves with a few of my friends. In 2021 is when we met our international group. This through Victor Mukasa, a Ugandan a transgender man who lives in the US. He connected us to this international school through his platform, where we used to talk all night because we didn't have sleep at night. We were not comfortable enough to sleep. So being in a Kakuma refugee camp is like something that you cannot wish anyone to be. Kakuma is hell, and that place is where we still have people living in there. We have mothers in there in that place. We have lesbian mothers who don't know even what next is, because there is not even process for these women. Like UNHCR is like working on them. It's not there. So in like 2023 we got this meeting with the officials of UNHCR, telling us that we should go. Like we were trying to ask them that what should we do? We came here to seek help, and you promised that you're going to give us that help. And they told us that there is no help for LGBTs, that you can go the way you came in. So this was a very big blow. We thought that maybe we were there, maybe someday they'll like do something about our situation. But there was nothing. Up to now, there is nothing. And that caused a big number of the group that I was with to flee Kenya and go to a different country, which so we'll talk about in a short. But we still have another school group which is still in Kenya. Some of them fled from Kakuma Refugee Camp to Kenya, to Nairobi, but still there. Being there is from our international sisters are the ones who are supporting them to live in there. We have Rainbow Railroad helping in, like trying to make to help in some people to get out of the camp and to make their process work, like to help them. Some of them are funded by Rainbow Railroad, but apart from that, Kenyan government is not helping at all. Our sisters there, they are they are just fighting by on their own. They don't get treatment, they don't get food, they don't get any basic need from the government or UNHCR. And they are also attacked for being on that ground. Like recently, one of our sisters was beaten at the well getting water, and instead of taking her to the medical to get a medical attention because she was so injured, she was jailed. Like our sister support group, our international sisters had to get some funds to bail her out and take her to the hospital. So we have been in a series of suffering in Kakuma, series of suffering every now and then with no proper documentation. They are not even refugees. For the past 6 years, they are still asylum seekers. All of them, all of LGBTs, they are asylum seekers. But other refugees are traveling, they are getting resettled, going to third world countries. They are okay. But for our case, it's so different. So, um, through this advocacy and trying to like to make awareness, like yeah, that's how we've managed. Some of us, like me, I was privileged because of sisterhood, and for people for because of people who loved me, who saw that I deserved to get out of there. And because of sisterhood, I'm here, I'm okay right now, but I'm not okay if my other sisters are still there suffering. So I'm gonna let Sue speak about the other sisters because she has been there witnessing whatever is happening to us. To also, yeah. So,
Thanks, Juliet.
mm,
And I just want to mention that first slideshow that we saw was Juliet and two other sisters that have made it to Vancouver singing at 11:30 at night because it was during our meeting. And for us in Seattle to be there, we started meetings at 9:30 and it would be whatever time there. But that was at the end of the meeting, 11:30. They were really tired, but they came out with that song. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the 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 women and their kids that went to the neighboring country. It's a war-torn neighboring country, and the reason they went there is because another group of LGBTQI plus people had gone there and were processed relatively quickly because it was kind of a new country and they actually were doing what they're supposed to do. And so this large group, 25, 28 women and kids, got to this other country, got to the resettlement center, and the government changed there. And that government said, you cannot stay here any longer. We don't want LGBT people here either. So then they had to move to the city and needed rent money. So in our group, really, what we're doing, who our group is trying to support the people that are in the Kakuma camp because they don't have food, they don't have medicine. It's even worse food than when Juliet was there, and that wasn't even very good. By the way, our USAID money, even though I suspect that money, its purpose, it did provide for some of the food, and of course that is gone. And let's see. Oh, lost my train because I'm not reading my paper. But the people that are in Sudan had were kind of getting close, some of them, to getting their visas to go to Canada. And hopefully it's only temporary. But with the outbreak of Ebola in the Congo and also in somewhat in Uganda, then the Canadian government said they are suspending all visa processing until the Ebola thing is over. So everyone at the Kakuma camp, at this other country, in Nairobi, that fled to Nairobi, they're illegally in Nairobi. They can't really be out and about on the streets. They can't get jobs. They're just in this stagnant position. It's so immoral. And our group formed because I think Juliet mentored Victor, this trans guy. Even though he got to immigrate to the U.S., he, like Juliet at the time, continued to advocate for people in Kakuma. And he was in touch with some lesbians in UK. And those UK lesbians were in a group I'm in called Lesbian Women in Black. And Women in Black was formed around support for Palestine. And we're a caucus of that. Anyway, so then we found out from the UK people that they were looking, Victor was saying they were looking for people to do like a one-on-one phone conversations with the people in Kakuma, just to give them a little support. And I won't go into all the detail, but we wound up forming a group. There's several of us here in Seattle, and there's people in the UK, there's people in Germany, and we've had other supporters in Uruguay and in Zimbabwe. But it's mainly, that's who we all are. And we meet once a month, the third Sunday of every month, and everybody gets together. What our group is trying to focus on is to support people to endure while they're waiting. Waiting. They don't know when they'll get a visa, if they can get a visa, ever. But, to carry on with their life. So we do raise money for food, for medicine and hospital and clinic care, especially in the camp. They're getting sick all the time because it's such terrible conditions. We've paid for one lesbian family to move near another one in the camp, and that cost quite a bit of money because not only did we have to pay for a new shelter, they have these shelter things that'll be their home, but there had to be a little bit of money given to the authorities or the people that would allow them to move to another section. But they moved to the other section so they would be more in unity. And I just want to mention, like Juliet and several other people, Shifra, Regina, that are in Canada, are incredible organizers. I mean, I feel our group is a mutual aid. I have learned so much from Juliet because I have never organized in the conditions that Juliet has organized in. God, old person losing their full thought with the enthusiasm. Juliet, what was I saying? Did you hear what I was saying? Where was I in this story? About our group. Just about our group. That I feel it valuable every time I meet with the people in Kakuma, with the people in the other country, and with the people in Nairobi, and with the people in Vancouver that got to emigrate, and then our people here. There's a lot about organizing and strength and enduring and reevaluating what is the most important to do now. And I've got to say, we're in a bad time now because we don't have enough money to carry things on. So the couple of people that fled from Kakuma and went to Nairobi have had to move in together because we couldn't afford 2 apartments anymore. And the people in the other country are starting to try to look for work that they could do, which unfortunately is like house cleaning or something, because we also can't afford, that's a lot of people there. We can't afford all the rents for that. We just don't have it. What else can I say? We were doing advocacy before, like we wrote demands to the UNHCR itself. UNHCR, the UN, I'm so disgusted with them. Seeing how horribly they've treated people at this camp. And they would say, there's nothing we can do. Or they would call the police. When in Juliet's time, there would be these big demonstrations. And the UNHCR would call the police to keep the demonstration from reaching the UNHCR office administration to get to talk to them. So we were like demanding that the UNHCR insist that the Kenyan government fast track meaningful asylum, refugee status to all LGBTQ asylum seekers, and to demand protection for them. I won't go through the whole list, but it fell on deaf ears. And then our partner that's in London actually was in communication with people in Geneva that were the head of the UNHCR. And at some point, they just didn't communicate anymore. Not that they didn't, Sally did, but they in the UNHCR didn't. So that was just kind of useless. And I think Juliet talked about Rainbow Railroad is an LGBTQ organization in Canada that works with the Canadian government to help people to get in. So what I would like now is probably to say, I think I've said the critical stuff, what you could do. And I don't know, Helen, if you can show my slide on that, or I should do it. It's the bigger thing. Like, yeah. If you could show that, that would be helpful.
You got that?
Well, yeah, I think that it's the smaller one, but can people see that okay? So here's what you could do. First of all, you can contact me for anything about it. There's other people here in Seattle, but I pretty much used my email on this. So join us the third Sunday of the month meetings to learn more and get the actual experience of getting to talk directly to the people who are in the situations, not just hearing about their hardships, but also about how they know how to survive. So, and it's at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. It's 12:30 p.m. Eastern time, and anything in between. And you just contact me, and I can hook you up to the Zoom. Then please, if you can, share info with your chapter, your groups, your friends about what is going on. Things our group could use is help to create and post social media and emails. The emails I handle okay, we can handle okay. The social media not so terrific at. If anybody is skilled at that and would want to help. Then there's a thing like that I originally was doing with Kakuma is to just meet one-on-one with some woman in one of the women in Kakuma, sort of like a pen pal. I mean, I cannot tell you, if you just picture, you're stagnating, you don't know when you're going to leave, you are hungry, your kids are hungry, you're getting sick all the time because the bathrooms are not bathrooms, they're overfilled latrines. I mean, so that would be just getting to know them and talk to them. Then also, do you have anything that something in a class you could share? It could be anything. We have one person newly doing now, Sheila Fox, is doing these trauma self-care workshops, and she's done that with people in Gaza as well on Zoom. It's meditations, it's physical exercises, it's breathing exercises, and she has a bell array of bells, healing bells and stuff, and it's very popular for people to do in Kakuma, and it's been successful in Gaza as well. Then let's see. The other thing is, of course, we need help with fundraising. Oh, I'm sorry. Help with fundraising. And if anybody, I'm going to try to write a grant because now the person in in Nairobi has finally found maybe an organization we could use as the recipient to get the money, because I've had that problem so far. I couldn't do a grant because the way we send money is to directly send it to somebody's phone and then they send it to other people. But now we actually have an organization. So if anybody has any grant writing knowledge and even would meet me one time or various times, that would be great. And of course, donate. And this little QR code that's there and maybe is also in the chat, that takes you directly to the Lotus Insight Sangha Kakuma page. That is a LGBTQI plus Buddhist social activist group, and that I'm also in, and they have very willingly become our fiscal sponsor so we can have tax deductible donations, and we have a page on their website that explains more what's going on and all the different ways to donate. So I think that's it for me. Juliet, do you have anything else that I've forgotten or we should add?
I just requesting everyone like to come to the meetings, like yeah, to come to the meetings and listen from those people and hear from them. I feel like no one is free, even me right now. I feel I'm not free, and my sisters are still in that situation. I know it's hard. I know what it means to be there, especially if you're a mother and you see your children growing without education, growing without like no basic needs, getting like the malnutrition because they don't have enough to eat. Like like sanitary ware sometimes if this sisters has been there like forever. Yeah, like for going to 5 years, they are there. And I feel they are exhausted. Like, yeah, it has been a very, very, very long journey where we don't know where this is gonna end. So we need more people to come in and help and support in any way. Even talking to those people can make a difference. Yeah, I chose to remain on here even if I'm safe, like just to support, like to give even if I don't have much. I'm going to school. I'm studying women studies. I know I'm gonna be useful in the future there, but I feel my presence being here, like listening to them, like making like advice, like them seeing me like excelling sometimes makes them feel that maybe someday they are gonna be in my place. So please, everyone, if each one of you, you can do anything, even $1 can count. So thank you so much, and I wish to come again in this platform. I love you all. Thank you. Mm.
All right, I really want to thank Juliet and Sue for speaking to us about all of this. This
Mm.
is, so important for us to know about and to be able to support.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you.
Thank you
all right.
so much for having us.
Yeah, yeah, so best.